Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Soul Stained Ink. My name is Beth, and today I'm going to talk to you about some books. And I know that I did my reading goals for the week yesterday and just basically said I'm going to pick up what I'm going to pick up, and that's it. But then I moved a bookshelf in the other half of my TBR from my parents' house to this house and kind of put the two halves of my TBR together. And yeah, some books got bumped, and I'm just gonna go ahead and talk to you about what I'm hoping to get to. This is gonna kind of be my December TBR, although things are most likely going to get switched around. This is basically the set of books that I hope to get to in the next couple of weeks. And there's only, like 5 weeks left in 2016. So, yeah, basically, this is my end of year TBR, I guess. Wow. Wow. All right, so I have two books that I absolutely know for a fact that I'm going to be reading this week. The first one is, of course, A Storm of Swords by George R. R. Martin, book 3 in the Song of Ice and Fire series. I'm loving it. I'm on page 412 out of over 1,000. According to Goodreads, I am about 32% through, so that makes me happy, but I've got a whole lot more road to hoe before I get there. This book, this series, it's crazy, but I really enjoy it. I do, however, like to take little breaks and read other things to kind of break up all of the intrigue and insanity that's going on and to kind of help me feel like I've made a dent in something, because with books that large, sometimes you feel like you've been reading forever and you just haven't made any progress. And to that effect, and because Thursday begins December, around the end of the week, I'm going to be picking up Fanny Flagg's A Redbird Christmas. This is Elizabeth from Lizzie Faye Loves Books. This is her favorite book, and she sent this to me so that I would have a copy of her favorite book because she likes to spread the joy. My mom has read it, my grandma has read it, they both loved it. So now it is my turn, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what all the hubbub is about, and maybe it'll put me in a Christmassy mood since Christmas is not my favorite holiday. It is like my third favorite holiday. Don't get all creeped out. I like Christmas. It's just, yeah, Halloween's my favorite. I like costumes. What can I say? Um, then I have this large stack of books here. These all decided to jump off of my bookshelf at me and want me to read them. So obviously, I'm not reading them all this week. However, hopefully, I will get to them all before the end of the year. So let's talk about what I've got on my year end TBR. Yeah, I have no idea what that cluck was about, but moving on. I have Eligible by Curtis Sittenfeld. I won this off of a Twitter uh, contest that the publisher was having, 6, 7 months ago. And so then Random House sent this to me, and I meant to read it right away, but I had a bunch of other stuff going on and wound up not reading it when I got it. It is a modern retelling of Pride and Prejudice, which is my favorite Jane Austen book. It's one of my favorite all-time books. I have like 4 copies of it, plus this, plus Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, which is also on my TBR, but not my year-end TBR. It's just over on the shelf. And yeah, I absolutely love the story. I love the characters, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what this modern retelling is all about. And yes, I did just hit myself in the face. All right, I also have Sleeping Tom by Evie Fairfall. Evie is phenomenal. She is a booktuber. She is just a really fun person. I love her to death. She's one of those people that I just can't wait to meet her. And not only is she an author, but she is an avid reader. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how that all comes together in her book. Basically, this is about a guy who has two personalities and this girl that is hitchhiking and kind of winds up in the house. The guy takes her in, but he goes to sleep and wakes up as his other personality, and craziness ensues. So I'm looking forward to reading that. Then I have Mary Downing Hahn Took a Ghost Story, which is basically a ghost story. There's a doll involved. I don't like knowing too much about it before I start reading it, but this is one that's kind of short. So hopefully I can read it fairly quickly. Mary Downing Hahn's books I can usually read really quickly, and they are books that I enjoy. So that's a really good kind of different way to go instead of reading something that's fantasy and closer to Game of Thrones. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. Moving on, I have another kind of creepy book, and that is The Curse of Crow Hollow. This is a thriller book that Elizabeth sent me. When she sent me the Fanny Flagg book, this was in the box, along with several other amazing books, because Elizabeth is the bee's knees. And she said she won this off of some contest, read it, enjoyed it, but thought that I would enjoy it even more, so she threw it in the box. And I'm really looking forward to reading this. I don't do a whole lot of adult books because I like to read the middle grade and young adult books and kind of see what all of my students are reading, if that makes sense. And I write those genres more than I do adult. So having some adult books in the mix is interesting and fun for me. It gives me something else to look forward to. This is The Gate in the Wall by Ellen Howard. I really know nothing about this book. It was given to me. I don't remember where I got it from, but it was given to me, and I think it is an upper children's book. It may be a middle grade book, but this one was published in 1999, so it's not super old, but it looks like a good old fashioned kind of fantasy medieval ages book, and it's also like 150 pages or something like that, 148 pages. So something that's going to be a quick read to kind of cleanse the palate before I go back to the other stuff. And then I have two books that I'm not sure I can read. They are Enchanted and Hero by Aletha Contis. These are the final two books in a series of 7 books based off of the days of the week rhyme. Monday's child is fair of face, Tuesday's child is full of grace, Wednesday's child is full of woe, Thursday's child has far to go, Friday's child is loving and giving, Saturday's child works hard for a living, the child who is born on the Sabbath day is blithe and bonny and good and gay. So this book is about Saturday, and let's see, this is the Woodcutter Sisters. This is book 2, and this one does not tell me which number it is. Anyway, this is about Saturday and Sunday, so I am not 100% certain if it starts with Sunday and Saturday, or if Saturday's book 2, but Sunday is like the final book. So I need to do a little bit more research before I know whether or not I can start these now. Of course, if you've read that series and you know about it, please let me know down below if Sunday starts it off or if I'm missing book 1 like I'm missing the other 5 books in the series. And of course, if you've read any of the books I'm talking about, let me know what you think of them down below. If there are any of them you think I should get to right away, etc. Now, this next one, I'm not entirely certain that I'm going to get to right away. Not because I don't want to read it, because I do really want to read it. However, I also just read a similar book, and I'm not so sure that I'm ready to switch my mind frame to read this one, because this is Heartless, which is the origin story for the Queen of Hearts, written by Marissa Meyer. And I just finished Colleen Oakes, maybe? Anyway, I just finished one called Queen of Hearts, which was this other author's take on the origin story for the Queen of Hearts. So we'll just have to see what I decide on that. I am looking forward to Marissa Myers. I've heard she's good. I've never read anything by her, but there's been a little bit of a hubbub around some other little series that she wrote, like the Lunatic Chronicles or the Lunar Chronicles or something. Anyway, that I do have the first 2 books for the Lunar Chronicles, by the way, and I need to read them. They're on my shelf. The final book I have on my list, I'm probably going to start really quickly, and that is Vasa in the Night by Sarah Porter. This is a retelling of the Russian fairy tale character, Baba Yaga. She has several fairy tales. And I really enjoy Baba Yaga stories. This is a modern retelling, so I'm super excited to see Sarah's take on this modern Baba Yaga story. I will probably be starting that this week. But that's all I've got. Like I said, if you want to say anything about what I'm reading, if you've read any of it, if you want to talk about them, if you want to buddy read any of them, let me know down below. And until I see you guys again, read something good, write something better. Have a wonderful week.